everybody. This is Sally Hendrick. I've got Kimra here, and this is the Who's Riding Shotgun Show, which is my branded talk show for my business. And I love to have people every week and talk about some different type of subject. This is my first time, though, to interview someone who is in the midst of a big launch.
Yes, I am in the midst of a very, very big launch. It's been a lot of fun.
All right. Okay, good. If we still sound good, if sound goes off, let me know. It's still echoing on me.
Okay.
Strangely. That's never happened. So anyway, I have been asking people what they want to know about you, when they want to know from you. And I've gotten all sorts of different types of questions. And so I'm really looking forward to this.
All right.
If you don't mind.
Let's go for it.
Okay. All right. So Be True Brand You. Most of the people who are coming in here have probably heard of it because I've talked about it. So my followers know, and then your followers know. But why don't we get into some of the specifics of how this kind of works? One of the things that I guess I'm saying it from my perspective is, how do you advise people to not get so stressed out if they aren't necessarily keeping up with the group classes whenever they get into Be True Brand You?
Yeah, Be True Brand You, this year I actually extended it to 16 weeks. And that was actually to add more implementation time into the program. Yeah. Last year it was 12 weeks, but because of like the flow of the group, I decided to extend it so we do have more time for people to get better feedback. And I mean, I extended it so I can better serve, so that I can be the best teacher, the best mentor in the community as possible.
Right.
You know, it was kind of like the vibe where some people are just like, oh no, you know, I'm falling behind. And so sometimes that happens, especially when you are figuring out how to put a lot of the technical tools to your business and you're trying to brainstorm what your actually services and products and offerings are. So sometimes it can take a bit of time, and that's why I've extended the course so that you guys get extra support from me for a longer period of time if you're someone who does join Be True Brand You or is already currently in Be True Brand You.
Right, which totally makes sense. The other thing that I like about it, what I wanted to mention, was that you do have lifetime access to the courses.
Yes.
And it is practically impossible to keep up with everything. I mean, you might keep up this week, or you might keep up in the fourth week or something like that. But trying to keep up every single week all along is very difficult when you're on your own time. You're not.
And really, especially if you're someone who has a job or, you know, a lot of kids to tend to, and you know, there's different life circumstances, but that's the reason why there is lifetime access. So we can go back into the program. You know, this past year we did like, you know, a redo, and I will do that again this year too. So then if people do happen to, you know, maybe not be able to keep up with a program the size of mine, they can still hop on. This year we are also implementing accountability groups. And me and my assistant actually just finished up a lot of the information on that. So we're going to be implementing groups of 4 so people can keep themselves accountable to each other and find their BTBY besties and connect with people one-on-one, because last year I realized that people who had accountability buddies and people who, you know, found their BTBY besties were the people who had the most results. So, you know, the ones that were really connecting, not just in the community, but, you know, in personal messages and, you know, in calls and things like that, those people are having the best results. So I want to make sure that we can implement that very strongly this year so that people can get the most out of the program.
Well, I like that you're expanding it to more people, because if it's just 2, it's very easy for one of those people to get off track and be doing something else, or even drop out completely, and then you're left high and dry. So, or maybe the match wasn't perfect.
Yeah, sometimes the match isn't a perfect match, and that's why we're doing it in groups of 4, because, I mean, people can even break off and do it separate. They can even split off in 2 if they want to. But we are doing it in groups of 4 so we can find people that best fit another person. You know, a lot of different programs don't really cater to that or try to even help people get accountability buddies. There's a few programs that I've been in where, you know, I paid $2,000 for it, and I was never matched up with somebody. I had to just kind of wing it myself and hope that, you know, I got the support I needed in the group, which luckily in some of those groups I was able to make some pretty good biz besties. But in B2BY, we make sure that you are matched up in the groups of 4. And even if you're a past student, you can join the groups too. So newer students are actually going to have some benefit from having past students who have already gone through it, who kind of like know what's in store, and so that way people can actually, you know, really, you know, get the best results from it. And Rick is saying I'd pay money just for the accountability buddy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I actually have a friend who that's what she does for a living, is she helps people set up accountability groups. She primarily does it at corporate level for like companies, and, you know, companies getting done with big projects and things like that. And I talked to her about just different tips and things that she recommended. And so for the accountability groups, we're going to have, you know, like a structure for the calls. So the calls are like straight to the point, like this is what I need help with, and you get help with that, you know, one particular thing. And it's really important, I think, for people to be able to have that when they are going through a course. I mean, think about it, even if you were like in college. If I had accountability group in college, I probably would have actually finished all my homework and done my work. Even in high school, I probably would have actually done the work if I had a group. You know, people thrive in groups. And so that's why this year, you know, we are spending a lot of extra time to, you know, implement this, me and my team, to make sure that everybody, you know, is able to get, like I said, the most out of the program and take the most action. Because with any program you buy, if you actually apply what you learn, you get results. I mean, that's I mean, unless the program's really, really crappy. But with any program, as long as you're not too advanced for it, you're going to get results. And with Be True Brand You, the people who actually take the action and apply the stuff, they're the ones that get results. For like, even if it's little results and little progress, they're still getting results. And that's what matters to me is that progress that people are making throughout the year. And, you know, my program is only, you know, it's a 16-week program, but I do stay active all year round. You know, most group owners, they literally delete themselves from their group when their course is over. And I'm just like, where did the group course owner go? They vanish. And I'm not really, you know, I call it an absentee teacher. You know, it's like the teacher that just is like, oh, hopefully you guys can, you know, it's like you go to class and then all of a sudden the teacher just bails and you're just sitting there like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I pride myself in being a good teacher. Like, I have so much pride in the fact that I really genuinely care about the results of the students. And I really want people to you know, be able to keep making progress, not just while they're going through my program, but even after they're done with my program, so that their brands can continue to grow and they can continue to get clients and get customers and get their brand out there.
I wanted to ask you too, you touched on this at the very beginning, but you teach the tools you use.
Yes.
And you don't try to pretend that you know things you don't know about.
No. I don't like being a guru of everything.
Yeah. Well, and that is something, some people will come in and they've already invested in something maybe that you're not using, and you're using a competitive product. And what do you tell somebody who's maybe they haven't gotten too far down the line with it, but they have made an investment and they still need to learn that program, and it's going to work similarly to something else? How do you deal with that? Because I have a similar situation in my school, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, and that does happen, you know, because I'm like a big promoter of LeadPages, and everyone's like, oh, well, I use ThrivePages, I use Ontraport. I'm like, But if you watch my training, you're going to understand the concepts and understand how these sorts of tools work together. And I think that's the biggest thing that's missing in a lot of programs is like, they're just like, oh, here's a big list of recommendations. And they give you like 30 different things for landing pages. And you're like, what the hell? Which one do I even pick? You know? And so some people, they've already purchased one, or they're just like, hey, I'm just going to pick this one. And hopefully it syncs up with everything. And I like to show a way where everything does fit together. And I do actually say, like, you can try this one or this one. It'll work in a very similar way to this.
Right.
But this is, you know, one thing that you definitely need for your business if you want to keep growing your email list. Say something like LeadPages or ThrivePages. You know, like those are things that you have to have something like that to grow your list. Yes, you can have, you know, your basic website, but having those landing pages is really what you can use to use Facebook ads to promote on your social media platforms for free offers to get people on your list. So I do like to share different examples of things. You know, this year I am bringing in guest trainers who actually on platforms that I don't use. Like there's going to be a trainer who is actually the company ConvertKit is actually creating a training just for Be True Brand You. I don't use ConvertKit. I use Ontraport, you know, but I have a lot of students who are always asking about ConvertKit. So I'm like, hey, I literally got in touch with the CEO of the company so that they can create something for my group. I have one for Zippy courses coming in. I have a guest trainer who's going to be training on Squarespace coming in. I have people training on other things that aren't necessarily the tools I use, but there's still the tools that you might need or might want to grow your business. And I think that's something that a lot of teachers, most teachers are kind of afraid to teach on tools anyway. They're kind of like, oh, well, then they're going to ask me for all these technical questions and things like that. And I'm like, if you show it in the simplest way possible where they can just get it set up, they're not going to be having to ask a million questions. You know, they're going to, once they know the basics, they can start figuring the things out on their own. And yeah.
I'm looking at all these comments. People are really talking about the energy within your group. And I know most of these people over here. There's Sherry, Joy, Lauren, Alan, Rick. All you guys got a lot to say about how the energy of the group is really dynamic and helping a lot of people to, you know, up-level what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like, just the vibe of the community is just amazing. I mean, it's so many supportive people who, for one, do use, you know, different tools than even what I use. So when you ask a question, you're getting help from people who actually know how to use the things. And, you know, it's really a place where people want to connect and want to be helpful. And everybody wants to see each other grow. You know, it's not a competitive space. You know, there's people who and actually it was hilarious because, you know, I had posted a case study video of someone who's technically their product is competitive with mine. And someone's like, why would you like post that? You know, like when they had great results, like with your course. And I say, because I don't believe in competition. Like, and I don't allow people to really be, you know, acting that way or, you know, communicating that way towards each other in my groups.
Yeah. Somebody just tried to hop on, and I'm sorry, I wanted to let you know that this was a pre-scheduled interview and we're not adding any other guests. So sorry about that. No offense at all, okay? I wanted to ask you, are you going to add any training on Ontraport?
I want to, however, because 95% of my students probably will not use Ontraport because my program is more for people that are in the beginning stages, not likely. And the reason why is because if I do Ontraport, then I got to do Infusionsoft. And it's those types of platforms are such a beast. I've been asked a lot of times by a few of the students, and it's just one of those things where, I figured it out on my own by calling their support team and having the support team walk me through everything. Ontraport support is the best support for any tool I have ever seen in my entire life. You get on the phone with them, you call them, and they will walk you through every single thing that you can possibly think of. What's
included as far as services go inside that? And I know that's kind of going on a tangent, but I wanted to ask.
Inside
services, email services, landing pages. It's got everything.
Ontraport has like every freaking thing. I mean, it's insane. I mean, they have like Ontraport, but I still use LeadPages just because there's advantages to using that. And plus I just like it. I've been using LeadPages for almost 3 years. So it's, and so I know it in and out. And so it's easy for me to teach it and make sure it's clear and understandable for people. But yeah, Ontraport basically has everything. And my assistant, Akila, says she wants to be certified in them, and I will actually pay for your certification, Akila, if you really want it. If you want to go to Santa Barbara and learn.
Yeah.
So yeah. So awesome. We have a question over here. Rick is saying, are there kinds of solo business for whom what you teach isn't a good fit for? Like, I don't know, a plumber. And I've been asked this a few times, like, does this work for, in-person, businesses, physical products that are, sold? It doesn't technically work for physical products, but for service-based businesses, yes, totally. Be Brand New is great for those sorts of people. I actually, my midwife, who, that's a local-based business, she went through some of my Facebook ads training that was in the program, and she was able to do a Facebook ad. She spent $100 and she got 6 clients from that $100. Well, 6 clients for her is $30,000 in clients off of $100. And she's a local based business. So she doesn't have like a big online presence. All she has is like a basic website, that kind of says what their services are and has some pictures of their location. She's not technically an online business per se, but she was able to go through the information and, get the best out of it. And I definitely think a lot of local-based businesses don't have websites. You don't even understand how many times I'm searching for salons, for getting my nails done, for all this sorts of stuff. The ones that I pick and go to are the ones that have the best websites, that have it clear and precise what their services are. And so if you join Be True Brand You and say maybe you are a plumber, and actually I have a family member who's a plumber and I'm working with him to build his website right now. And because he just started his own plumbing business. He used to work for people, but starting his own. And, he's creating his websites. He's creating his YouTube videos that are local-based YouTube videos. I know a guy who does, he cleans, or doesn't clean, he repairs stoves. And so he made a YouTube video, and the YouTube video just has like his local city, blah, 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 stove repair. Like, that's the name of the video. It's a YouTube video. He has it up and he gets almost all his clients from that one video. Yeah.
Well, I totally agree with that. As far as local business are concerned, you can be a plumber or any type of technician, a computer technician, or, a roofer. How often have you tried to find a roofer? I mean, you live in New York now, but in the past, it took me calling 7 different people to find a reputable roofer or somebody who cuts a dead tree out of your yard.
Yeah. And if somebody has videos that they create, which inside of Be True Brand You, I have a whole course called Video Academy that shows you literally how to set up your camera, how to edit your videos, how to put them on YouTube, how to use the keywords for them. If you have a video that's like that and it has testimonial videos, like the eyelash guy I used to go to in Riverside, California, I started getting my lashes done there because he had videos, because he had YouTube videos. He had videos on his website that showed, testimonials, and they showed before and afters of people's eyelashes. They had people saying, hey, I've been going to this guy for 2 years. It's been really great experience. There was a video of him introducing himself, talking about like we keep expanding. We've been growing all these sorts of stores and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, dang, this guy's freaking legit. I was super, super, super stoked to go to him, and the results were awesome. So, but there was like 100 other eyelash places I could have gone to. Right. But because he had the online presence, I was able to go to him, and I became like a diehard customer, and several of my other friends and stuff now go to him as well.
Yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't understand is that video can take the place of that cold call, that first meeting. It takes the edge off. It breaks the ice that usually is a blocker for people to even enter somewhere or call someone. Yeah. I mean, when you go through the Yellow Pages and you're looking for something specific, how do you know which one to buy? The one that says AAA something else, because it's at the top of the list? It's not necessarily the best thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and especially, I mean, video reviews, I think they're so strong. Well, especially for local businesses. You know, if someone makes a video of, you know, a nail technician is like, oh my gosh, every time I get my nails done with her, she's fast, she's efficient, I get in and get out. So you're saving time, but she does amazing quality work. They look beautiful. If someone just made a video that said that, I'm like, I'm sold. I'm hiring this person.
Yeah.
You know, so it works very, very strongly for any sort of industry.
I wanted to ask a couple other things. All right, so how many VAs do you have at this time?
How many VAs do I have? Okay, so let's list my whole team. Okay. So we have Akila, who she's actually in the chat box right now.
Yeah.
And this guy's trying to steal it from me, but I don't know. Akila's going to be working a lot more hours pretty soon. There's Akila, Kelly. Those are my two assistants. We also have I also have Taylor, who is my social media manager currently. I have a Facebook ads, or not Facebook ads, a Facebook group for my Freedom Hackers group. She's a community manager named Jessica. I have my husband, he counts because he was up until 3 a.m. fixing some Facebook ads last night. So my husband, he counts. Then I have two nannies. So two nannies who come and help. I have an in-person personal assistant. Who else is on my team? Oh, and then I have a project manager, Nicole. And then I have my design team, which is Victoria and Audria. So that's like 11 people, I think. Oh, and then I have a videographer now too. So
a lot of people, but that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So my team has expanded dramatically over the past few months even. And it's going to grow. I mean, at the end of this launch, I'm probably going to end up hiring a few more people as well.
Yeah. Now, I've got back to, you were talking before about how your stories came here. I mean, you started in this place of scarcity, and you've now moved into a place of major success, like rags to riches kind of success. One of those Cinderella stories, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. How many people do you see really rise to that level that quickly? You just don't see it that often. And so what I wanted to ask you, where you came from, you had nothing to lose to go for what you were going for, right? So
really nothing to lose. Yeah. I mean, I was on welfare for several years, which was very, very, very difficult. And even while I was on welfare, I did try, 3 different actual businesses to try to get us out of there. But it was just a very difficult time because there's no jobs during that time frame. But once my husband did get a job, we were able to get off of welfare, and we were just like, okay, things are kind of steady, now we're not starving. So that's good. But then we ended up, I ended up kind of being a bored housewife, and I was like, hey, like, I want to start a blog. Like, I want to start all this stuff, but I didn't even own a computer. So I had to ask my husband if with our tax return, if it would be a good idea to get an iMac. And he's like, okay, sure. So I got an iMac, and I started learning how to use it, started learning how to blog. And, I was able to really find, a love for the whole online world, for social media in particular, I think that's how you say that sentence. I do not have the best grammar. All right. I'm not an English professor by any means. I was able to grow something pretty rapidly. I spent a whole year blogging very consistently. My blog had over 100,000 views per month, primarily through Pinterest.
Yeah.
I was a big time Pinterest marketer. And actually the first course I ever put together was a Pinterest, was actually a Pinterest course. It was actually the first course I ever put together.
I thought it was a Facebook thing.
Yeah, well, this was before I even had my KimraLuna.com site. When I still had my health and wellness blog, I had a on Pinterest, and I didn't ever sell it because I was like, these are health and wellness people. Like, they're not going to want to buy this, right? So it just didn't make sense. But I had already had this passion for teaching and training people, and I was just like, it's just like, that was what was yearning inside of me. Like, I had my health and wellness blog, and I still am really into all that sorts of stuff. But the thing that was yearning was the teaching. That's what I wanted to do. I really wanted to teach. And so once I became, once I got to the point, I guess, where I figured like I can make a business out of that, after just, listening to a lot of different people online, like Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income, Derek Halpern, when, James Wedmore, people like that, I started like, they were like, you are knowledgeable, like you can share your knowledge and actually make money doing that. So I decided to, just keep on going, and just like, I'm just going to teach people. I'm just going to do that. So I deleted my past blog and I started my current business, and I was able to have a lot of success pretty quickly with my current business.
So what advice do you give to someone who's already well established in their career? They've already got a home, their kids are in private school, they're basically having a really good life, a successful life, a 20-year career in actuarial science, maybe. What do you say to that woman who's getting tired of the corporate scene and wants to be able to replace her current six-figure income?
Yeah, I mean, the best advice is to just keep going at it. The more you do it, the more your following grows, and the more your following grows, the more money you make. I have friends who, because their email list is so big, they don't even have to do webinars anymore. They can just email their list, hundreds of thousands of dollars from emailing their list. So the more you grow, the more the income starts to increase, because the more percentage of people will buy. So if it's like, if you have 100 people on your list and you sell to 10%, that's only 10 people. But if you have 1,000 on your list, and you sell 10% convert, that's 100 people.
Yeah.
So it just, the more your list grows and the more your following grows and the more value you're putting out into the world, then the better.
Yeah.
All right. Andra's up in here. What up, Andra?
Hey, Andra. I haven't seen you since New York. So what would you say is the one thing you've learned from your students, the most important thing you feel like you learned from your students this past time?
I think that would be that everyone, comes in at a different place, just with their mindset, just with their skills and abilities. And so even I have to be patient with my students, because I'm like, didn't you watch that video? Like, why did you not watch that video? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like sometimes it's like I see something they're posting, I'm just like, just watch the video and just do it, but it's like I can't just go out there and just like yell at people, like just go do it. I can encourage the best I can, and I think I have had to become more patient even with my students, because it's like I see things in them that I think a lot of them don't see in themselves. And so it can be difficult for me when I'm just like, you are so freaking talented, like get out there, and I can give, little nudges. And Lauren is saying, I have told Lauren straight up, like get out there, just go for it, and I think, sometimes people really, need a little nudges that way. And so I'm kind of perfecting that skill of, giving those little nudges as needed for people. Because sometimes I think people, they don't have the confidence in what their skills are. And so I'm like, dude, you are talented. Like all you got to do is talk to more people and get in front of more people. The more people you talk to, the more clients you get, the more customers you get, the more you share your gift. And I've said this like several times actually this past week, is like, you can't serve people if you're hiding behind a little rock and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get out there. Like you can't serve anybody. And so, I really think that, that's just something that I've been learning how to encourage that, kind of getting out there a little bit more for my students.
Okay. Now this question is really from me. I've had some from my audience and I've had some that just kind of developed over time. But why would a social media strategist like you support another social media strategist like me?
Because I don't believe in competition at all. I don't think that it's really a thing. I think it's something that people kind of made up to try to, I don't even know why. People like drama, I guess you can say. I am very supportive of other people who teach social media because everybody has different perspectives, different experience with it. I see people who primarily they work behind the scenes in social media rather than up front. And they get much different experiences with that. I really believe in supporting other people who, might be, in the same niche as me. And it's totally cool. Like, I want everybody to rise up together. I created Freedom Hackers as a place where everybody can be lifted and not have to worry about people, being, competitive to each other and wanting to fight against each other. I really think that there's more than enough customers to go around. I think there's more than enough people that want to be served and want to learn this type of content. So for me, it doesn't I'm supportive of all sorts of people. It's funny because me and one of my buddies was at the bar one night, and there was these three chicks. They were sisters, and we were just like talking with these sisters, and they were like, "Oh, so what is it that you do? What industry you guys in? Whatever." And so we were talking, and they're just like, "So you two are friends, but you guys have completely competitive products that you sell, but you're still friends." I'm just like, yeah. And they were like totally weirded out by that because, they're, in kind of, regular like jobs and career type of mode. And they're working their way up the corporate ladder. And we're just like, hey, we're just like doing our own businesses. And yes, literally the person that I was sitting there with literally has a program that is 100% competitive to my program. And I was sitting there right next to them. And these people, their minds were just blown. Like, they couldn't even believe that we were like, buddies with each other. They're like, how are you guys buddies? Like, how did you guys become friends? I'm like, we're in the same industry, and technically our audience is the same audience too. And they're just like, it was hilarious. And I don't see others as their product is competing to mine anyway, because I know I have a different perspective. I know I teach differently. Some of the biggest compliments I get is my teaching style. I don't typically teach where everything is scripted like a lot of people do when they do their programs. It's kind of more off the cuff, and I just kind of let the information download and I give the best I can. Yes, I do have, of course, notes, and I do have my slides, but and that's just mainly to keep me so I don't go off on big old rants, which I still end up going on rants in the middle of my trainings, but they're good rants, I promise. And it's, it's just, I just have a different personality than people. So, and I also have a different perspective. One of my friends, he's, a bit more of like a hard sell and things like that. And, I'm more of a soft sell. I'm kind of just like, hey, this is what it is, take it or leave it, and, so sometimes we might, butt heads on like certain, marketing beliefs, I guess you can say.
I bet I know who that is.
And it's okay. There's people that I don't like how they market at all. There's people that use a lot of fear tactics in their marketing. Oh my God, I can't even stand that. I'm just like, do not fear me into joining a webinar presentation.
Oh, right.
Really, so there's certain marketing things that to me, they just don't feel right. Like, cause I wouldn't ever do them, but hey, I'm like, whatevs. If you're making great money and you're helping people change their lives and their lives are going great, okay, cool, whatevs. But I just personally would not market that way. And it's okay. It's okay to, market and have different beliefs about all sorts of topics. I have people that I'm very close with, who, even political beliefs are completely different. Spiritual beliefs are completely different, and it's okay. I really believe in supporting everybody, the best I can. We got a lot of people in here right now.
Yeah, we do.
Hey,
it's finally bumped up because
hey peeps. It's starting to bump up.
We had way more than that to start on the original link. But
yeah, well, I shared on Twitter, so maybe some people saw me tweet it.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah, because I'm like, where do all these people come from? So what's up, people? We're just talking about all sorts of stuff.
I know, and I know a lot of you, but a lot of you I don't know. So let's follow each other. I'm trying.
Yes,
it's hard to hold on to all of this at the same time when you're trying to.
Yeah, Bernard said that he saw me on Twitter.
Probably.
apparently my tweet helped bring some people in. So that's cool. So yeah, and I'm not on Blab like all the time. I'm on it a lot like this past few weeks with a lot of my BTBY students. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun being here and things like that. Yes, everybody tweet.
Yes,
the tweeting works
please.
apparently.
Yes, it does.
I would
And
appreciate
if it's
that.
over, they'll come back and see the replay. So
That's true. They will come back and see the replay.
yeah, and it'll be so I'm not going anywhere with that. All right, so a couple more questions and then
Danny said he's counting down the days. Oh, you're counting the days for my program?
when's it gonna be done?
Huh?
What's the last day?
The last day to sign up is on Monday. So Monday is the very, very
22nd.
last day to sign up. The 22nd is the last day.
Okay.
And I know it's Friday, so I know a lot of y'all got paid. So go and check out BeTrueBranding.com.
BeTrueBranding.com. I typed it in. Okay.
Yes.
Are you still vegan?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still chilling. I'm good. I'm good.
Vegan. Are you still vegan?
Do you have a special link though, Sally?
For what?
Up here. Like a referral link.
I don't know.
Like a you didn't have one? Okay. Well,
know.
if some people sign up through you, message me and so we can keep tabs.
I wouldn't know. I'm in the middle of starting my own launch, and so I've just got this whole planning phase
Everybody's
going
launching right now, I swear.
Yeah.
I swear everybody's launching right now. I'm just like, man, there's like so many launches going on. I don't even know what's happening because there's so many launches. I'm just staying laser focused on my own launch and
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
I can only handle so much.
I had a couple of questions. I said, are you still vegan?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And how long have you been vegan?
I've been vegan for 8 years.
Okay.
So, but I turned vegetarian when I was 10.
Oh,
so
wow.
I haven't had meat since I was 10 years old.
My daughter's the same way. She's a vegetarian. She hasn't turned vegan, but she's a vegetarian.
Yeah, I did have some eggs during one of my pregnancies because I was trying to figure out how to get rid of my nausea, but that didn't help, so I stopped eating.
Gotcha. All right. So what do you think about duplicate social media accounts? One for business, one for friends and family.
I mean, it's a good idea. I mean, like recently I decided I'm going to do like 2 different Snapchats, I think. I'm going to do one for freedom hackers and then one for like personal, just like funny stuff. So that way, and I mean, I haven't even set it up yet. So I was thinking of doing that. I also want to set up one that's just for like my family, like an Instagram. Because for me, like with Instagram, I like to share a lot of pictures of like my kids and things like that. And it's like, my whole audience doesn't need to see 8 million pictures of my kids, Yeah. So, but I want to make an Instagram that's like just for my friends and family. As for Facebook pages, like personal pages, it can be kind of hard because if you're spending a lot of time like networking in groups, that can be people start adding you as a friend. They see you in a group and then they want to add you as a friend because they're like, hey, we're like buddies, we're in this group, we hang out, we talk on in the threads and stuff. And so that can be kind of harder to separate it. Like for me, I'd say 95% of the people who are my friends on Facebook are either business colleagues or potential customers. Gotcha. So I have a few family members. But most of my family members actually go through my program too. So, it's
hard to separate it. And I know that there are tricks to be able to create lists within Facebook.
But see, the thing is I used to do that where I did all the list, but then I started growing so fast. Like my friends list started growing so fast, I couldn't even keep up with putting all the people on the list. So I just was like,
I know. I thought about doing it myself, but then I'm like, you know what? That is a maintenance nightmare.
Yeah, I don't even do the list. It's just, if something is like more like private, I'll just have it so it's just for friends. And then I do have one where I made like my family members on a certain one. Yeah. So just something where I just want my family members to see. I'll post that. But almost everything on my page I post public anyway.
Okay.
So
Rick just said, I have 10 people on my list. And Katrina has asked, what is the quickest and easiest way to build a non-existent list?
So I actually just did a training on this about a week ago, a webinar, but the replay is not available as of right now. But some of the fastest ways to grow your email list is freebie offers. And if you go to kimraluna.com and you click on the Start Here page, there's actually a training called Irresistible Freebies, and it teaches you how to create a freebie offer from scratch, how to promote it, how to get it out there. Freebie offers are the fastest way. When I first started, I started off doing webinars, and I had a freebie on my website that taught people how to network in Facebook groups. And those were huge. My list just kept growing and growing and growing. And my list has grown steadily ever since. I've had a lot of free mini courses. Webinars were the primary way of growing my email list. And because I tend to pick topics that I know people are really, really, really going to want to learn about. And yeah, so webinars are usually the fastest way for me, though.
Okay, I've got
my mini course. My mini course, I would say, is kind of, there might be neck and neck, actually.
Yeah.
My mini course. People really, really, really like my mini courses, and they share them. My mini courses kind of go viral because people share them with friends. Oh, they tag me. Like, oh, Kimra has a mini course on that. Kimra has a mini course on that. So,
yeah. I like that. I just did one on goal setting. I call it Roadmap, and it went really well, and people were able to see how to wrap their mind around a huge goal, and it made it really nice to do. And it wasn't a difficult thing. It didn't take that much to do. All right, okay, so what is the game changer from sort of making it to really making it? That was from Carol Lawrence.
Mindset is the game changer. The belief that what you're offering is valuable. A lot of people really undersell themselves, I guess you can say. And like I was talking about a little bit earlier is, people not really believing in those skills. But mindset is completely different. I have a friend who some of her content is so freaking amazing. I've had a brand crush on her for like 3 years, and she's now became one of my friends. And, she's kind of stuck at the level of, like the 6-figure, $100,000 a year, like mark. And she hasn't, gone any farther from that. And the reason why is because she doesn't want to charge a little more for what she creates. And I'm like, dude, you took like 40 hours creating that dang thing. Like that thing should be like $400, and she charges like 40. You know, so Andra says send her my way. So I've been working on her gradually because I'm just like, girl, like your stuff is so freaking dope. Like, come on, And so sometimes it's that mindset thing. That little click just hasn't happened yet. And I think she's getting closer to it now, but it just hasn't clicked. And so the mindset is really the biggest aspect. I really believe that people should be working on their mindset every day. I listen to audios every day, primarily on YouTube. I listen to Abraham Hicks, motivational stuff, just things to really, keep my mind clear and in more of a positive mode. So I'm not getting into complainer mode, which is the opposite of what you need to be. So there's a little bit of that. And what Andra said, money mindset sort of stuff, I like to make sure that I am in the right mindset and I'm, attracting things and things like that.
One thing I wanted to add to this was that some people will start their business thinking they want to do one thing, but once they start going through the exercise of actually creating the business and starting their branding style and all of that, they find out that they're teaching the wrong thing.
Yeah, I actually had a student, and actually she was a group coaching client from when I first started, who had been doing this HR online business, and the business just was not working out. Like we were trying every single strategy you can think of to get bites, and it just was not working. And so I'm just like, well, what the heck is going on here? So I was like, okay, we need to talk about this. I'm feeling like you don't have the strongest belief in this particular business. Like you have to believe in it very strongly for it to be successful.
Otherwise you won't bust your ass.
And she'd been busting her butt for like years trying to get this thing off the ground.
Yeah.
And so I asked her, I said, what is the things you really, truly, truly care about, right? Come to find out, she had a blog that was all about art and creativity. And so I was like, okay, well, let's turn that into a business, because that's what you actually love and actually care about. And she was able to start she started doing Google Hangouts and interviewing like a lot of, like top other artists, like in her particular niche. She started to do like a membership site where she teaches people, how to do different types of art techniques and things like that, and like how to know like what sorts of supplies to buy. She like reviews different supplies on her YouTube channel. And so she was able to do that and actually create a business out of that. And she thought, well, I've been doing HR for 20 years. Like I should, just do that, because that's what I'm, supposedly good at. But she was good at this art stuff too.
What though? There's a value in her starting her business with the HR stuff though, because she was comfortable from that space. And what she was able to do was to get herself educated with how to put this stuff online, right? And you've got to see that.
She knew how to get the website up. She knew like, oh, this is how you do advertising. This is how you, connect with people and ask them to be on your Hangouts. And, like she did do a lot of learning. So it was really, really definitely beneficial to her. But once she was like, it was like sometimes people I think don't realize when you start asking yourselves internal questions, you start being like, that's what I really want. And, there's a lot of people who will join Be True Brand You and think they have this, this is my business. And then they go through the first course, brand identity, and they're like, I'm shifting my business,
That happened like 50 times in the first month. I remember that last year, there were so many people that were like, okay, I'm changing my branding now. I'm just starting over from this. And I'm looking at them going, what the heck are you doing? Because I had not really figured myself out at that point. But the nice thing about it was that once you have the skill set and you understand the whole funneling process, the online marketing, the strategy, so on and so forth, and you have the technical skills to hook it all up, then you can switch. You can start and create a business that really comes from your heart.
Yeah, exactly. And, I really like the reason why, like, I know the reason why my business has been so successful is because I really care about teaching this stuff. Like, I enjoy this. Like, I love this. Like, being on things like this is what keeps me alive.
Yeah.
Like, I live on this stuff. I hadn't even ate breakfast today. It's almost 2:00.
I know. I only had a couple boiled eggs and I got to go have some lunch.
Yeah, because I've been so in it, just been helping people all day long, answering those questions all day long. And it's who I am, and I know that's the reason why I've been able to have results, but that's why I created the Be True Brand You program, is so people can figure out what is that they want and something that can actually make money doing.
You can have blue hair and still make great living.
Yes, exactly. And it's funny because when I first, when I first started, I was a little hesitant about, the way I looked, because like I had like the shaved side of my head and my bangs were like teal. Yeah. And the tips of my hair was like teal. And I was just like, I don't know, people are like going to think I'm like some freaking weirdo or whatever. But I know I can teach this stuff. Like I want to teach. And so I started teaching, and people are just like, we love your teaching style, all this sorts of stuff. So I was just like, all right, I'm just going to go with this. And I was really great at webinars. So I was like, I'm going to keep doing webinars and keep doing them because this is how I give people value.
Yep.
Lindsay said, weirdos unite. Weirdos unite. Yes. I happen to be this way. I had a freaking giant pink mohawk. You'll see in my webinars, I show a picture of my giant pink mohawk that was, literally like my arm. Like the top of where my arm goes was like how tall my mohawk was. It was ridiculous. Sonia is saying, how do you address doubtful and overbearing family members when you're transitioning from your 9 to 5? Ignore them the best you can. Ignore, and just say, I don't like, you might not have to say it to them, but in your head say, I do not care what you think about me.
Yeah.
And I am going to go after my passion.
That's why you go find your buddies online. You find your support online. You go and find.
That's why you get BTBY besties.
Yeah.
You join Be True Brand You. All your besties are there. You'll find amazing people to be supportive of you, and that way you don't have to pay any attention to what these other people are saying. Yeah, there's always going to be. And Lauren says BTBY besties for life. Yes, you gotta have business besties, people that are going to support you and your journey, because it's hard if you don't have anybody supporting you. I mean, it's definitely hard. I have friends where, their spouse is not supportive of them. Their moms and dads aren't supportive of them. They have people just nagging them like, oh, that's not a real thing. Like, you can't make money doing that. I mean, I've heard every single story you can think of.
Yeah.
And the thing is you need to connect with people to build those relationships with people that are going to support you and who want to see you rise and want to see you shine.
Yes, exactly. All right, last question. This one's easy. Are you going to have a fourth child?
Yeah, well, I think there's a few people asking questions in the chat box.
Oh, okay. Too, so but last for me.
We'll get everybody. Okay, last from you, but we'll get everybody's questions.
All right. Okay? Are you going to have a fourth child?
No.
Okay.
As of right now, no. My oldest son thinks that I'm going to have a fourth child. He tells people my mom is going to have another baby, and I'm just like, no. But my life works in threes. Like 3 is like kind of a golden number for me. So I have 3 boys. I think I'm pretty good. I've always thought about adopting. Yeah, Sonia says he wants a sister. Yes, he does want a sister. The thing is my husband has 5 brothers. Sisters do not run in this family. And so guaranteed, if I get pregnant again, that baby is not going to be a girl. So yeah, he does want a sister really badly though. He's like, I need a sister. I'm just like, how about we just find like a female playmate who lives in our building, which we found one, and so now he seems to stop talking about me having another baby. So
okay,
there's a little girl who's his age that lives in our building.
Quest for success. I know it's Tendai or Tende, or I don't know how to pronounce your name. We've been talking on email. How does Kimra decide on partnering accountability partners?
Yeah, so with this group, particular group of B2 students that are coming in this year, we are doing groups of 4, and it's going to be based off of like how long you've actually been in business and the total, amount of money your business actually makes. Yes, Tendai. And we're also going to put into account, area codes, where you guys, or zip codes, like where you guys are actually at in the world.
Oh, that's good.
That way, we're not getting someone from like Australia that's all over here, and like the time zones are hard to do that.
We should do that anyway.
Yeah. So we're going to have plenty of people in each continent kind of signing up. So it's going to be pretty easy to match people up. But we're going to match people up based off of like their experience, and, kind of put people kind of who are in the same area. That way you have people that you can relate to. Some people might be like, oh, it'd be great to have someone who's already, making multiple 6 figures, because I'm not making anything. Yeah. But if you think about it the other way around, that person who's making multiple 6 figures, they might be like, well, I'm not really learning a lot from them. It's more me teaching them or coaching them.
Yeah.
So we have to like really find a good balance in there. And the reason why we're doing it in groups of 4 is because, sometimes someone can't stay committed. And when you do it to groups of, when it's just 2 people partnering up, people fall off and they're just like, oh, I can't stay committed to following through or blah, blah, blah. So doing it in groups of 4 makes it so if one person falls off, it's okay. The other 3 of you can just keep going. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that way, you still have that person that you mesh with. Doing it in groups, I think is going to be really, really great this year. So I'm really, really excited for it. And we shall see what happens with it. We're going to be matching everybody up on the 21st after the doors close. So on the 23rd, we'll be matching everybody up. And past students can join too. So people who are the newer students can actually have a benefit of being partnered up with people that have actually kind of been there, done that a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that'll be really, really fun, I think, for everybody.
I predict that this next group is going to have a lot of the sleepers from the first group to emerge. And come out of there soon.
Yeah, and it's really funny because, I've been in a lot of different online programs. I mean, not a lot, but I've been in different programs. And it seems like the second year, a lot of times it's like people are just like, it's like the first year, they're doing pretty good. But then the second year, they're like, it's like they really ramp it up.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited about the past year's students because I'm like, dude, you guys are going to be kicking some major butt this year.
It's like watching a complicated movie the first time, and then you get to the end of it, and something changed, and it was like a light bulb moment, and you understood it, and you had to go back and watch the movie again. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, because like me, I'm a person who, okay, so say you read a really, really great book. Well, when you read that great book again, you're like, oh, you know, it's like there's all these things
you
start happening. And yeah, there's things that, it's like you miss it the first time, or maybe you just can't understand that the first time, or maybe once you have more experience, then the second time around you get it. And that's what is so great about having lifetime access to the Be True Brand You program, is so that every single year, you know, you are able to keep growing and keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. So it's really, 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 really fun.
All these people are saying they're ready. That we've got.
Yes, and if you join Be True Brand You, tell us that Sally sent you. If Sally sent you here and you learn about Be True Brand You from Sally, be sure to email us at btby@kimraluna.com and let us know that Sally sent you. We did have Chantel Jones just signed up, so I don't know if she's here, but thank you so much, Chantel Jones, for signing up for the program.
Cool.
I wish I need to like print a list of like who's on here so I can see like if she came from here or not. But yeah. So thank you so much, Chantel, for signing up. But yeah, so if you guys have any more questions about my Be True Brand You program, you can go and look at the sales page. It's a pretty extensive program. It has 8 core courses in it, and then a bunch of bonus courses, which is basically like almost as much content as the 8 core courses. And we do bring in guest trainers every single month. You know, if there's topics that maybe I don't cover in the program, I like to bring in guests who will cover those topics for me, people who are experts. Sally was saying earlier, you know, I don't pretend to know every single thing, because honestly, there's nobody on the planet who can know every single thing about marketing. Like, that's not even possible. But I know other people who are well-rounded in different topics. And so I bring them in so that it is the most well-rounded, one-stop shop online marketing program there is. There is not any programs like Be True Brand You. And I'm not just saying that. There literally isn't. I have looked, I have researched. There isn't anything that has every single aspect of your business that you need to know inside one program. And, you know, it was a little risky, I think, for me to create a program that was like this. Because there hadn't really been anything like that before. And everyone was like, oh, you got to, you know, niche down or whatever it's called. And I'm just like, dude, I have all these ideas. I am a person who's a jack of all trades. I want to show people every single bit of knowledge that I have. And so far it's worked out great. If you go to Be True Brand You, you can see tons of case studies. There's tons of, you know, testimonials that people have posted on there, sharing their experiences with the program. And I'm just super, super, super excited to be sharing about it with all you wonderful people. But if you guys have any questions about anything, it could be marketing, business, branding, social media, webinars, Facebook ads. I'm well-rounded in many topics, so hop in the chat box if you want to. I'm totally willing to do a Q&A.
The thing that's refreshing about getting into BTBY is that you do realize that it's not just one formula. You don't just take this plus this plus this plus this, and there's your business. You can do it that way, and it's easier if you just follow those exact steps. But with the way things are online these days, so many programs are integrating with each other with the API keys and all of this stuff. And people can use different programs, plug them all together. And it's not like anything we've ever had in the past.
Yes. It's really like now there's so many tools. And there's so many ways to actually do things. That's why in the program, in the launch course called Ready to Launch, I actually show 4 different types of launches so that you can figure out a type and style of launch that fits you, that fits your personality, that fits your budget, that, you know, fits what, you know, type of product or service you're selling. Because that's why it's called Be True Brand You. Everybody's brand is different. I mean, even the people who are like, oh, this is the exact formula of doing this. Guess what? Half of the time they're doing different things behind the scenes than they're
you don't even know.
Yeah, they're doing well. And the thing is I do know, because I start talking with these people and they're teaching you different things. Like, they're like, oh, this is the formula we teach. Yeah. Oh, but we do these other things different. Like, no, I teach literally exactly how I do it. Like, I don't hold back on any of the secrets. The Beat Your Brand You students get even extra things that I don't share to the public about my launches and about my strategies. So it's like you really get to, you know, have my brain is like all laid out into video format.
I agree. I come up with stories too, blog post stories. One of these days I'll have to put a mini musical together.
A mini musical, awesome. So
I'm kind of a Broadway freak.
Lisa is asking, how often would you do informational teaching and webinars? We're looking to grow your list. And what is a good call to action if you're not selling? So for me, my call to action when I first started is I just asked people to join my Facebook group, to like my business page. I said, hey, if you haven't liked my business page, like my business page and follow me. Those were my calls to action when I wasn't selling anything. And people loved it because they were like, oh my gosh, I feel so relieved. I didn't have to sit through a 30-minute pitch, you know, which is what happens a lot of times on, you know, webinars that I'm not going to talk about. And then she says, how often would you do it? It really depends on how fast you want to grow. You know, like me, when I first started, I was doing them every single week. I was doing them every Saturday because my husband was still working a job. And so Saturdays were the best days for me. And so I just put inside I did my first webinars. I did my first ones in the middle of the week. And then I was like, oh my gosh, it's too hectic in the middle of the week for me, you know, getting dinner ready for the kids and all sorts of stuff. So I decided to do them on the weekends. And I just kept doing them once a week for quite a while. Then I started doing just, you know, twice a month and, you know, that sort of thing. I didn't do them as often after a while, but I really wanted to get that solid foundation and grow my audience quickly. So I was freaking cranking those bad boys out. Cranking them out.
All right, we got a couple more questions.
Donna said, how was your 30th? My 30th birthday was amazing. If you haven't been to my business page, there's a video where you can see all of us partying. Several BTBY students, actually, some of them even flew out from across the country and even from other continents.
South Africa.
To come to my party. So I had a party, but if you go to my Facebook business page, the video that's pinned to the top, it's facebook.com/KimraLuna333. You can see a video that shows kind of a little snippet of us, you know, hanging out at my party and things like that. It was I launched that day. I opened the doors to like everybody, like the public, for my Beat Your Brand You program. And then we had a party that evening and it was a lot of fun. I rented out a place. They played music. There was great snacks. We had cupcakes and people gave me presents and it was just a lot of fun. So it was a good 30th birthday party for sure.
Very cool. Following my bliss, I can't find her name. What did you use for a website when you first started out? She needs to spend some money, but wants to spend wisely.
Okay, so when I first started out, my very first website and blog, I used just like a free theme. And guess what? That freaking sucked. Like, I don't recommend that. Paid themes tend to actually have, you know, opt-in boxes on the page and have like things that you might actually need for your business. I highly recommend StudioPress as the theme platform for you to use to have great WordPress themes on your site. All of their websites are mobile responsive, which means when you create it, someone could look at it on mobile and it actually looks great. They also just really have beautiful looking themes. And so those are what I recommend and even what I teach in my program how to use because the total, it's about $100 to get a theme. So you have to buy, it's called Genesis Framework. And then on top of that, you can buy the theme on top of that.
Yeah.
And
Genesis Framework is just a one-time price, and then you can buy various themes at smaller amounts. Yeah, you can buy various
themes, and I think they're like $30 or $40 a theme after that. But they look really great. You should only be making one website. You shouldn't be making a bunch right now, unless you have a bunch of businesses or something. But yeah, if you're making, you know, your first straight website, I highly recommend StudioPress. Lisa's saying elegant themes, also elegant themes.
Yeah.
You know, I've a lot of rave reviews about elegant themes as well.
Did you use the same lead page every week for your webinars? No, did you use customize the process. That's from Lisa.
Yes. So one thing that's really, really awesome about LeadPages is you can duplicate the page.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about it is like you can duplicate it and then just like tweak the words. So if the content is different, you just duplicate it. And then you just make a new list on your email list and sync up the new list. That way everybody's kind of sorted. So you know like, oh, these people signed up for this presentation. These people signed up for this presentation. And you know what sort of content those particular people are looking for.
You can also, the Facebook pixel tracking or Google Analytics tracking.
Yes.
Those stay with the pages. And so when you duplicate it, you don't have to go input all that stuff again. Same thing with like A/B split testing on LeadPages. You don't have to do all that again.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the biggest reason why I love LeadPages so much is because you can put those Facebook tracking pixels on there. So if you're someone who's wanting to do some rapid list building, promoting webinars on Facebook ads, you definitely want to be using something like LeadPages where you can put those tracking pixels on there. And I have a training on Monday all about Facebook ads. And I will talk a bit about the pixels and like how they work and how they track things and stuff like that.
Twitter has added that too. When you go into their ads, you can put conversion tracking on those, which is really
cool. And I have been testing out Twitter ads a bit. They don't seem to do so well for me. We've been trying them out and it's just they're kind of whatever.
Yeah, they're not
but I like having myself promoted on another platform though. So
Well, people are they're not used to you over there.
Yeah, well, and I mean, my audience is actually pretty strong over there.
But they're not necessarily used to seeing you over there.
But I don't hang out there as much. So that could be partly why. But I mean, I'm targeting other people's pages and stuff too. So it could just be because I'm not as super active on Twitter also. So we'll see what happens. I mean, this next year, I plan on being a lot more active on Twitter. That way my ads will work better.
This person right here, Bernard Charles, says, I've been seeing them. So you must be talking about the Twitter ads.
Yeah. They've been out there. So I'm glad you're seeing them because that means I'm targeting them to the right person, right?
Yeah. Well, you're here on this interview.
Yes.
Well,
so any more questions for me? I'll be on for about maybe 5 more minutes. So if anyone has any last minute questions for me before I hop off, my husband ordered me pizza.
Yep.
So there's a place here. It's called Two Boots. And they got vegan pizza. They have a pizza. It's called V for Vegan. And so it's delicious.
Well, you should eat it.
Yes.
I need to eat something too.
Yeah. So I'm asking my husband if the pizza's arrived. So if anybody has any more questions for me, I mean, I'm a real New Yorker. I love bagels. I love pizza.
Well, I want to go ahead and say that if anybody wants to come back next week to this particular show, the Who's Riding Shotgun show is normally 3 guests. We pick a topic. We discuss the businesses that everybody's in and weave that topic throughout the discussion. It's always a really good, fun time. And next week is going to be something about limiting beliefs. And I've got 1 guest I've met and 2 guests that, another one I've kind of met and the other one I've never met before. So this is going to be fun. I typically have brand new people every week on the show, and I'd love for you guys to come back to it.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to Sally's show because this is fun. I really have enjoyed this.
Yay. I love doing this.
Yeah, we got who is it? Quest for Success. She's asking, have seen a lot of you on Instagram recently ads. Do you enjoy it? So far, I think the Instagram ads are doing pretty okay.
Yeah,
they're doing better, I think, than the Twitter ads are. So, I mean, this is really my first time I've ever been using them. So, I'm making sure that I'm be like monitoring them like a hawk, type of thing, to see what's converting and what's doing better.
Mm-hmm.
And someone, Sonia said, where are you going next? There's another blab I'm going to be on later today.
Isn't it real soon?
Let me see. Hold on. I got to look at my calendar over here. Yeah, it's my next blab is going to be, is at 3:30 or no, 2:30. Yeah, so I'm on another blab.
You need to.
With, yes, hold on. I have the link. I could post it.
How do you say her name? Is it Yehudi?
Yehudi.
I love her,
I've
but I
asked her,
cannot
like,
pronounce her name.
So I hope I say it right. Hold on. Something just turned on.
Yehudi.
I think I had the wrong Yehudi. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a friend named Judith from Hungary, and it means Judith.
Huh.
So I bet it's the same thing.
That's interesting. Yeah, so I don't know why like my link isn't working. For some reason the link it like had somebody else like on it. So I don't know. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone said, how many hours Japan in the house? Japan, I want to start like a huge movement in Japan, just FYI. You need to send me a Facebook message.
The Harajuku movement.
Yes, I want to start a huge freedom hackers movement in Japan. So someone says, how can we find the next one? I don't have the link to it. Hold on. I don't.
I'll go ask her.
We need to find her channel, so then we can get the link to it.
Who's got her Twitter? Lauren,
Yeah.
Lauren, do you have? I'm gonna go.
You guys know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
I'm trying to find her.
Let me see if I can find her.
Where's her channel?
Come on,
But
girl.
how do you just like find someone's channel?
What's her last name? Steinberg?
Steinberg, yes. Steinberg.
Interfaith Wed. Is it going to be on that?
Yes. Because that's her business. I think that's what it's going to be on. Yeah.
Interfaith Wed. Let me go look on. If somebody else type in a blab thing and
that's her. That's her. Yeah.
Hopefully that's her blab channel too.
I believe that is.
It didn't work.
That's what I'm going to be after this.
I don't know.
Someone said you don't get to name your YouTube channel till you make a zillion videos. Yeah, that's funny.
Well, hey,
yeah,
I got the name mine the other day. I didn't have as many.
It's Think Grow Love. That's it.
Think Grow
That's
Love.
Her blab. Think Grow Love.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her blab. Lauren posted it in the group.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's blab.im
Okay,
/ Think Grow Love. Okay, so that's my channel. That's the one I'm going to be on.
Awesome.
And we're going to be talking exclusively about Facebook groups on this training too. So
that's cool.
And
you gotta hop over on that because
Elizabeth Ryan just signed up. So I don't know if Akila's still on here, but Akila, keep track. She got Chantel Jones and Elizabeth Ryan.
Yay!
Just so you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. She's over there now trying to do that. Go ahead, eat your pizza. Do that. You guys.
And I need to take a few bites of my pizza, and I got to get on with Yehudi.
Yep. And go over to her blab and continue the conversation. And I've got LeadPages certification training. I'm late.
Oh, okay. Get out of here.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.